Hello, my name is Control Jones, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Starting a new series on this YouTube channel. Want to actually get back into creating YouTube content. And this series is going to be about me joining an atheist Facebook group online. Well, it's a Christian and atheist Facebook group combined together, but it's a mix of both. But I want to answer a lot of those questions that I see that's interesting enough to answer, or require a more lengthier response that I can't just comment on the page itself, or whoever posts the question, whatever statement. So the question that I'm responding to, or really the statement and question that I'm responding to, is that someone said, and I'm not gonna put people's names either. Sorry about that. I just don't want to put people's information out there. But the question I'm responding to is, God is objectively evil. Changing my mind, and that is something that I disagree with just right off the bat. I'm going to say that God cannot be objectively evil if he's the one that created the standard, the rules, the laws that govern us. And he doesn't break said rule by doing things that's, unnecessary. He doesn't do anything unintentional. He doesn't do anything without reason. Everything God does is for a reason. And the things he allows is because he permits it to allow it to happen because of free will. A lot of people don't like that. It's because when it comes to objectively evil, saying someone is objectively evil, you have to prove that they're going out of their way to do evil things. God does not go out of his way to do anything evil, first and foremost. And second, a lot of times people have the idea that God is someone that can just, or should just, be doing everything good for our benefit and not allowing anything evil or bad to happen. So I'm assuming this person is really talking about God allowing evil to happen. That's why he's objectively evil, because he allows it. But that is not how you say someone is evil. Because if they are warning you to not do certain things, to not cause things to happen, i.e. consequences, and you do it anyway, how can you call that person evil? If God tells you not to go somewhere, not to do something, and you do it anyway, how is that evil if the consequences of you doing the opposite are bestowed upon you? So someone might say, what's the how is babies being born with cancer a consequence of my actions? It's not your actions, it's somebody else's actions that fall on their children and their children's children. So someone before you is causing you to suffer. And sometimes people don't understand that in terms of, oh, it's a curse. Well, no, that's just a promise. It's really just a condition that God said. And it's not really a promise unless God is actually targeting your bloodline because someone actually did something against God, and that's totally different. But again, you have to blame, your ancestors for doing something wrong or evil in order to incur it. And disobedience is evil according to God, because if God is warning you not to do something for your betterment, and you say, I'd rather not listen, I'd rather do my own thing, and then you're kind of opening yourself up to whatever happens, and you can't blame that on God. And then you also have the people who say, thousands of years went by, why is cancer still happening with children being born with it and whatnot? I believe, I could be making this up, based off my own perception, but I believe that we have the cure for cancer. The reason why it's not being made readily available is because people rather use something they can make money off of than just, help everybody else for the greater good. I think that the people in charge, hidden, of course, not the direct people we see, are the ones controlling how we disperse medication and things like that. I know people, I see a lot of times where someone is, trying to invent something that's going to help the world populace, and they end up dying randomly. They're in a car, they rarely drive, and then it just swerves off the road uncontrollably and they hit a wall, or someone strangled by the vacuum. It's stuff like that, or people just disappear. I know people see those things all the time where someone is trying to do something for the betterment of the human population and they're just not allowed to, and that is something that I truly believe, that a lot of our suffering is still ongoing. It's because someone is profiting from the people suffering. Everything's a business. Once you start realizing how much money is being made from a lot of things, you start looking at different things a different way. And one might ask, why doesn't God stop it? Well, one, God put us in charge of ourselves to do certain things, and if we get carried away, he will step in. That's number one. Number two is, why are we allowing these things to happen when we can stand up as a people to stand up against certain things. You know, if you know your government is corrupt, would you allow them to keep doing corrupt things? Oh, I'm just gonna wait for them to have their time and vote someone in? No, you can take action. You know, in America at least, you know, you can take action. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be repercussions if you try to move your government from power. Obviously, that's a risk. But you know, if you want freedom, you're going to have to pay a price for freedom, because freedom isn't free to achieve. There's always I say consequence. There's always a price to pay. There's always, you know, someone who has to sacrifice something for that freedom. For my freedom today, someone had to fight on, you know, D-Day against, you know, in Normandy. Someone had to fight way back when, you know, someone had to fight for me to have the freedom and luxuries I have today to even make a YouTube content there. I mean, understandably so. You know, there was a time where black people weren't even given the same rights as other people to do certain things. So I understand that my freedoms today are the luxury that I have today is from somebody else's sacrifice. And so, you know, saying that somebody is objectively evil because evil still goes on is not on God, it's on us. It's the people that choose to do evil. God didn't tell somebody to do evil things. He didn't tell you to love money more than people. He didn't tell you to create a system that only benefits certain people. He did not say that. People made it because they are corrupt. They're evil themselves, those that are, you know, doing evil things. And so, you know, the Bible says the man's heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? That is often proven true for the elite status people. I hate to say it, but I would say majority of people who are elite are not very good people at heart. Now, there could be some. I'm not gonna say everyone is bad. I would say, you know, maybe 75% is evil and 25% is good. Unfortunately, the 75% is overpowering the ones that are trying to do good, or they're doing things that make it hard for the small percentage to do good. You know, you see some people, they try to start off good, but because of the system and how it's set up, it forces people down a certain path. And so I hope I answered the question. I hope that is, you know, a really good explanation. I'm doing my best of trying to stay on a point because I am a rambler. And this is my first time actually creating content that, you know, I want to actually people to listen to. So please leave your comments in the leave your comments, and then also if you dislike the video, dislike. If you like it, and then tell me what you dislike, tell me what you disagree or what you do agree with, and I'll try to reply, you know, to whoever comments on this video. I do appreciate you watching it this long. Thank you, and I see you in the next one. God bless.